This is the plaintiff, Michelle Hainsworth. She says she's a second grade teacher, and one day after school, she noticed her car door had been all scratched up. The defendant refuses to take responsibility for the actions of her son, who admitted using rocks and sticks to draw on her car. It's very sad the defendant's chosen this path instead of stepping up and doing the right thing by paying for the repairs. She's suing for $518.50, the amount she's due. These are the defendants, Lana Ralph and her son Orlando David. Lana says the plaintiff's relying on the word of another 9-year-old boy who said her son was involved. Her son denies any wrongdoing, and she believes her son. The plaintiff has no proof her boy did anything to her car, and she can't just go around placing blame on whoever she wants to and expect them to pay up. They're accused of not admitting damages.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff, a second grade teacher, says the defendant's son threw a rock at her car, but the parents just won't ante up. The defendant says a 9-year-old fingered her son, and it's a bum rap. It's the case of sticks and stones will get you in the People's Court.
Michelle Hainsworth, you are suing Lana Ralph and Orlando David. That's your boy?
Yeah.
Okay. For $518.50, half of the estimate for repairs to your vehicle because according to you, he and another boy trashed your car.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, on May 14th, I left work, and as I exited the building, my cousin and I walked into the car, and she said, "What happened to your car?" So I walked around the side, and I noticed that the whole entire side of my vehicle was scratched up.
What do you do there?
I teach.
What subject do you teach?
I am a special ed teacher, and I teach all subjects.
Okay. And so what did you do?
So I noticed that the car was scratched up. So I called upstairs to my assistant principal, and I told her, I said, my car is totally scratched up. So she came outside and she looked at the car, and then she said, okay, so we have to find out who did it because we have no idea. So I started questioning people who I know that sometimes are not in the class when they're supposed to be and things like that.
Okay, these kids are how old?
My
This
son
was a
is
few
9.
months ago. How old is he now?
9.
Okay. Go ahead.
So then I questioned the little boy, and he said,
Which little boy?
Not him.
A different boy.
A different little
Okay.
boy. And he says that himself, Orlando, and 2 other boys were playing outside in the parking lot. And so then he said, and then they scratched up the cars. And I said, oh, okay, but I didn't tell him it was my car. So then I got Miss Phillips, the assistant principal, Miss Phillips, involved, and she questioned Orlando, and he said that he was there and that he took a rock and he scratched up the cars.
Okay, so that's in a report, right?
Yes.
From the school. Can I see it? This is your statement.
And the principal's statement.
Okay, gotcha.
Here I have a statement that was written by Orlando himself.
Oh.
And I put an asterisk on the side where he said he scratched up the cars.
Orlando, how you doing?
Good.
Okay. I'm asking about what happened that day. Are you gonna tell me the truth?
Yes.
Do you know the difference between telling the truth and telling a lie?
Yes.
If I told you I was a man, is that true?
No.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, that is.
Did you get in trouble at school?
Yes.
What did they get mad at you for?
For scratching up the car?
Did you scratch up the car? Tell the truth.
No.
Is your mama gonna whoop you if she finds out you say yes? Come over here. Come over here. I'm gonna just have a little chat with him over here, sidebar. Come over here.
Not many people get to go up there.
So, if you can't tell which one threw the rock, are all of the kids responsible or are none of the kids responsible?
I think all of them are responsible.
Even if somebody says, it wasn't my rock.
Absolutely, yes.
You agree with that?
I do.
Why?
Because I think if they were all there, they'd all be responsible for it, and someone should have stopped them.
So they're all kind of partners in crime.
Yes.
Got your point? Going inside the courtroom.
Come here. How old are you? Are you big or little for 9?
Little.
You're little? But you got your tie on and you look all nice because you came to see the judge, right? Okay, let me tell you, if there's ever a good time to tell the truth, now would be it. I just want to know the truth. Were you with the boys that scratched up the car?
Yes.
Did you scratch up too?
No, I was holding the door for them.
The door to what?
In the school.
The door to the school, and you were holding the door for them so that what could happen? So they could run back in? Okay. Did you throw anything at her car?
No.
Okay. Did you tell your principal that, did you see this, by the way? The statement he gave the principal?
No.
Okay. I need you to see it for two reasons, because I'm going to read to you what it says, and then because you have to work with him on his vocabulary. Okay? Okay. First you say that Jimmy's by the door and Thomas
Yeah.
was scratching the cars, and me too. And Jimmy and Tyre run around. Thomas opened the door and Jimmy said no. And after school, we went back and we scratched the cars again. And the driver, who, the bus driver? Do you mean?
No, you have a cab that picks him up and drop him off at school every day.
Did your driver see you guys?
Yeah, he came.
And did he see you guys doing up to no good?
No, he went in the auditorium.
He went in the auditorium. Did he say to you he was going to tell your mother?
Yeah.
What was he going to tell your mother? He must have seen something.
He said he's going to tell me your mother because I was not in the auditorium.
Because you were not in the auditorium. Why did you tell the principal we went back and scratched the cars again if you didn't scratch the cars? I know you scratched the cars. You want to say something to the nice lady? Are you worried you're going to get in trouble? Okay. Ms. Ralph, we have a teachable moment here. That's what we call it as parents. Right now, he wants to tell me something, but he won't tell me because he's so afraid that he's going to be in trouble with you. Can you maybe reassure him that what you want is for him to tell the truth now?
Yeah, that's what I told him at home, that I want him to tell the truth.
You believe her? Not really. Listen to me. You don't scratch people's cars, okay? She works real hard to get the money to pay for the car, okay? What's your favorite toy? You have a bike?
The Xbox.
You got an Xbox? Okay. If I took your Xbox and then I took a hammer and I bashed it up, how would you feel?
Sad.
Right. Okay, so how do you think she feels when you scratch up her car? Sad. Right. You want to say you're sorry?
I'm sorry.
Go down. Go back with your mother. Thing is now, this is kind of interesting because you're also suing Ms. Ralph. And when people always think that the parents are always responsible for everything their child does. They're not always responsible. There's only certain circumstances. The kids at school, when this is going on, the parent is not responsible. The child, of course, is responsible, and you also have a lawsuit against the child. I'm going to enter a judgment against the child. Now, I want you to listen to me, Orlando. It's not okay, all right? It was bad. The judgment's going to be against the child. You collect as you can, and it's good for many, many years. So obviously at some point, if this boy wants to be able to do other things in his life, he doesn't want to have a judgment against him, and it'll end up getting paid. But that's how it works. So I find in your favor, Ms. Hainsworth, in the amount of the $518.50, which is half of the estimate. I guess the other boy's parent took care of their child's business. Now, Ms. Ralph, I do want you to listen very carefully to what I am telling you right now. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind. No, I know there's no doubt in my mind that he was in on it, at the least. According to what he said here, just said, what came out of his mouth, I was holding the door for them. You can put your hand down. I was holding the door for them when they ran in. I just read to you, and you're going to leave here with a copy of this, of what he told the principal, which is, we did it. Now that we know he did it, you got to figure out what you as a mother are going to do with that. Are you going to handle this in a mature fashion where there are some consequences for him? Whatever it is, whether you're punishing him, making him do extra work to help pay this off, to get it out of his name, you have to think through what you're going to do now. Okay? I wish you luck. Mother to mother. $518.50 verdict for the plaintiff against the son.
Okay, so let's talk to the defendants coming out here. Step on in next to me if you would. And big guy, you stand right next to mom. And have you learned anything here today?
Yeah.
Tell us what you've learned. That it what? Is it a good idea or a bad idea to tell the truth?
Good idea.
Yeah. And how about you? What do you plan to do now with him?
Yeah, I'm going to punish him.
But you're going to use it as a teaching moment as the judge advises?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you proud of him for telling the truth?
Yeah.
Attaboy. Okay. Good job. Okay, right down this way. Step on in here and... All right, you watched that whole thing go on. What was going through your mind as you watched that?
Well, I was just thinking that she know that he lied, and he admitted it in front of her. that he did it, and she still has got him coming into court lying. It's not good for him.
Well, you think anything changed in here today?
No.
Harvey?
Real quickly, parental liability varies from state to state. In some states, a parent is only liable if the kid's action was malicious. In other states, it's enough if the kid was just negligent. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.